So in this last segment, we'll call it, let's talk about your coping mechanisms during the coming out year or years following telling your parents and how you dealt with it.
Well, denial of my feelings and holding back from my parents or from everyone because I didn't really want people to know my business. But I mean, my main escape was using drugs and alcohol. But that started so many years before, and I guess that was maybe the whole. It wasn't just after I came out, but leading up to that. I mean, I wouldn't have had my first gay experiences had I not been under the influence by someone that was much older than me that was giving me substances that made me do things that I typically wouldn't have done. And I basically was told to never talk about what was going on because nobody would ever understand it. And so when I would go to that level of substance abuse, meth in particular, it would take me away from the fears, and it put me in a place where I was accepting of myself temporarily. And when things would get rough after I came out, I would fall back into that pattern. So it was a roller coaster of drug use that didn't end till much later, and it didn't end till much later. So that would be how I handled it.
Do you think realizing you were gay or being homosexual in general effectively changed things about you personality-wise because of the adjustments that were made during those formative years?
I think that I know that there are a lot of people out there that say being gay is just a small part of who I am. Well, I personally think that those people are kind of full of it. Full of poop. Because how is it such a small part of who I am if everyone has such opinions on it? I mean, yes, maybe. Okay, how is it a small thing if who I'm going to commit the rest of my life to someone, how is that a small thing? Or if my rights can be taken away from me for this small little thing, how is it a small part of my life? So the whole idea of a person altering their personality, their who they are, based on this one small little fact, I don't really know where my personality was limited as a child and what it would have been like had I not been holding that back. So I think the question was, repeat the question, because I think I'm sidetracked.
I think it was, mainly, do you think that being gay affected your personality in some way, shape that wouldn't have been necessarily had you not realized you were gay or not been gay? You think it's, whether it's for the better or for the worse?
Well, for whatever, it is what it is. It's something I can't change. And yeah, it's definitely because of the time that we live in right now where gays can't even marry in most states. It's turned me into someone that my whole goal in life is to help kids not have to go through the suicidal thoughts and the drug use that I went through in order to become a confident human being as a gay or lesbian.
What do you recommend to kids coming out today, although they don't have nearly the same obstacles in their way as the role models have changed, and certainly society has definitely made a wave of change?
Yeah, I want to say that everybody after me has it so much easier, but I think that would be belittling the feelings of these kids that even with the resources like the internet and social networking devices,
Modern Family.
TV shows like Glee, Modern Family, 90210, where they have gay characters, thank God. Yeah, they have it easier in that sense, but it's never easy to come to terms with the idea that you have a difference in you that only you know. And I think that this is why I do this video. This is why I did this series. I know for some people this can get redundant and boring, but I made this specifically so you could see how one person coming out can affect all the people around them, meaning their family, how it can affect their friends. I mean, that's something that I find important, that after I came out, I never got all my straight guy friends. I haven't had a relationship with them since.
None of them?
A few of them, but they've been minimal. Well, one friend. I was invited to one of my many good friends' weddings, and I don't know if that's because I'm just a jerk or if it's because.
Well, you also live in a different state.
Yes, I know that, and that's something I need to deal with my therapist. But
I mean, you lose touch with people, and sometimes you get reacquainted, but
that's why you're here. You're here to
wrestle you in there.
But I think that I ended all of my videos with
A song?
It gets better. With
Oh.
a song.
With a song.
It gets better, and I guess this one is for you guys, the ones of you out there that have Googled coming out, and you found me. It gets better. It's gonna be rough, and there are gonna be times where you think that you can't go on, but hang in there. Find an organization that reaches out. Any Yellow Pages, you can Google gay help, and there are going to be numbers that come up there, and there's going to be someone like me on the other end that's going to be able to say, hey, here's where you can go, these are some resources, and there is help for you.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Jonathan.
Thank you, sis. All right, so I think that an important topic that I want to hit on is bullying. You, the bullier out there, are probably not watching this right now, but from my personal experience, I was bullied. I remember being in high school, and people made fun of me in the locker room when I was going through puberty, and people would walk by me between classes and say faggot. People would. It's like the little things that hurt the most. Like that word, fag. Some people are able to turn it around and not let it bug them. Like, for me, every time I hear the word, and I'm sure that I'm going to get a lot of comments after this saying fag, because that's what people like to do when they feel like they can get away with it, which is fine. I can take it now. But if you're getting bullied, this is going to pass. This will all pass. And eventually, you're going to realize those people, they're gay. Those people you don't have to deal with. You don't have to play on that side of the playground. It's a big world. So find the people that love you and go towards the love. And that's my message.
And that's all?
That's all.
Thank you, Jonathan, and thank you for that last footnote.